I'm Mike Bowers and I'm Director of Photography for the Global Mail. I'm talking pictures this morning with the Chaser's Chris Taylor. Welcome, mate.
Great to be here.
The G20 got underway in Mexico this week and according to Julia, Australia is very much the lucky country.
Oh, you always think that if you're doing a summit in Mexico, you need to do tequila shots pretty early, just to loosen up the whole summit. Now, I don't know how much tequila they've been drinking over there, but judging by some of the things Gillard's been saying, I reckon they've gone through a couple of bottles this week.
Chris, Bill Leake's done this lovely cartoon of Angela Merkel and Julia Gillard. Angela Merkel here is saying all we have to do is dig up some rocks and sell them to China, put pink bats in every ceiling, send cheques in the mail to working families, and Bob's your bloody uncle. I should have done that with a German accent, but I just couldn't quite get to myself. World Economic Recovery for Dummies, G2012. I think he's captured a very, very, very good smug Julia, though.
Vintage smug.
There always seems to be a little bit of chemistry, I've got to say, between our Prime Minister and the leader of the free world. It's always,
really?
There's always a bit going on.
Were you in the bars after the summits and seeing things that I didn't see?
Yeah, no. There's always a bit of chemistry.
I don't know if there is chemistry. I reckon there's a way of capturing any heads of state in a photo to suggest chemistry. This looks like they're about to pash. It looks like a bunga party, but all they're doing is just swapping very civil, cordial views on the Eurozone.
Mark Knight's just taken the whole KISS thing just one step too far, I think, Chris. Mexico,
well,
Mr.
he's
President.
gone there. He's taken all the subtlety of the previous picture and just spelled it out for us.
Yeah, Mr. President. Julia.
Yeah, and smooch.
So she goes in for the kiss.
In for the smooch, and then she just takes him down to the floor.
Yeah,
he doesn't know what's hit him.
Yeah,
she's amorous. Right. It's good. I mean, if it just ended on panel 3, it kind of would have been a bit 101, but the rider joke tying in with the Melbourne earthquake this week, I think is lovely. So
I think I just felt the earth move as far as Maui, I hear. Yes, it's been 20 years since the first Earth Summit. It's the political climate that matters in Rio, apparently. You know, I mean, what a job. Mexico, Rio de Janeiro.
It's hard, isn't it?
It's tough.
It's just a Kentucky tour in Latin America, isn't it?
Yeah.
I reckon Tony Burr could be pretty chuffed.
Yeah,
to have scored a cartoon.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't pop up every day in a cartoon. Even if they're dressing them like some sad, fat Peter Allen tribute act.
With Marine Park maracas. Yeah. Meanwhile, on the world stage. And from Australia, pair number 20. Good grief, where is he? He's still at the airport.
That's Abbott.
Doesn't Abbott just look fantastic with his little sort of landing paddles with no written on them? It's just nice little touch.
That's a lovely cartoon.
Yeah. I've got to say, he looks nice in the Peter Allen outfit. I'd like to see this in Question Time.
I'd like to see him, season 7, Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, absolutely.
Don't tell me that can't work.
Chris, when it comes to newspapers, the news is not good. Michael Leunig sees the demise of the broadsheet paper in a quite different way. The demise of the broadsheet newspaper is a terrible tragedy, mate, especially to those of us who appreciate its civilising influence on a cold and frosty night.
Well, people forget that, don't they? And that's why Fairfax was a bit dumb to get out of print. Because no one reads them, obviously, but a lot of people do rely on newspapers.
Insulation
to wrap up fish and chips, to get the fire going in winter if you don't have kindling.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what they expect people to read. You try sleeping out on a cold street with that as your only warmth.
Try and get a fire going with that.
Try wrapping your fish and chips up at an iPad. You can't do it. It's hopeless.
Chris, it's been a great pleasure chewing over the events of the week. Thanks very much for taking the time.
Pleasure to be here. And back to you, Barry.